Hello, everybody. Hello, and it's time for another episode of the Jing Dynasty. I'm your Empress, Jacki Jing, and the Oracle of the Jing Dynasty is here.
Hello.
Thank you for gracing us with your wonderful presence, Cece.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm taking a bow, but you can't see it.
Of course you are. Anyway, Cece's my best friend, and we have a lot of conversations about everything, but we do end up talking about mental health a lot. And yeah, I mean, I think that, we wanted to talk about trauma. And man, kind of a day for it because this morning I just everything started off on an awful foot in my Discord server, which were only really caught the beginning of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How does that work?
Oh man, I mean that wasn't obviously I've gone through things way more traumatic than that, but just was in the light of everything going on.
Yeah.
Just the last thing that I needed. Unless you haven't been paying attention to the news at all, then I'm sure that you have been seeing that there's been a lot of attention raised about the harassment, the brutalization, the actual killings of Asian and not just Asian Americans, Asian American Pacific Islanders. They've been targeted, and there's just been a giant uprising. I guess uprising is not the right word. There's just been a major increase in the harassment that we've been seeing towards this demographic. And obviously this hits close to home for Cece and myself because we're both Asian American. I'm half Chinese and Cece is
100%.
100%, yeah. And yeah, I guess okay, Cece, so we had a topic here and now I'm just kind of going wherever. But yeah, someone said a racial slur to me this morning, straight up. Someone just said a racial slur to me.
Yeah.
And it was over the most idiotic thing ever.
Yeah.
They were upset with some commentary I made on a YouTube video, and then they just came into my Discord server and were super combative and inflammatory. And Cece
At first, yeah, they weren't too bad at
yeah.
first, and then I was like, okay, we're going to be, civil about this. And I responded in a very civil way. I'm like, hey, you have your opinions, we have ours, we're going to respect yours, hey, there are opinions, asking for you to respect them, thank you for your input. I even thanked them, because he said these are helpful tips. I was like, okay, about the opacity and things like that. And then I explained, we've gotten copyright infringement notices because of them, and that's why we did what we did. And so that was the end of it. And that's when I started, back to work. I didn't see what had happened afterwards, which you can keep going on about that.
Well, so Cece left, and I saw her comment. It popped up on my phone, and then I was like, "What is she talking about?" Because I didn't even see the other comments. So then I saw, and I responded very kindly. I thought I was just thank you so much for your input as well. And I was just and I said the same thing. We adjusted the opacity because we've had copyright issues, and then I was just anything I said about the show was solely based on the trailer, and that doesn't mean everything. You know what I mean? I'm we got to wait till the show comes out. Yeah. And then
I thought that was a great ad. I was like, wow, I should have, said something like that instead of your opinions, my opinions, hey, respect them. I thought I was a little more abrupt than I thought you said it wonderfully.
Yeah, I tried to assuage the situation. I was okay, this guy's obviously very fired up about a YouTube video.
Right. Yeah.
But I was okay, he's obviously upset, very upset by my opinion about a trailer. It was a candid trailer reaction. And, those are very much in the moment too. Like I sometimes make those trailer reactions and then I'm like, you know what? That wasn't that bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's literally like our reaction to it in the moment.
Yeah.
And I had heard from other people. It's the Dota show on Netflix. Like I'm sorry. Like I should have said that from the beginning. But straight up, like people have thought that the show looks really good. But we watched the second trailer and we were both kind of like meh about it. By no means does that mean the show's going to be meh. But anyway, that's not even the point of the story. Like, it's so funny because, like, that's not even the point.
Right.
So then the guy, he was like, he started, like, getting kind of combative and was like, just starting to get combative. And I was like, you need to calm down, I was like, or we're going to remove you, and he was like, oh, whose server is this? Is this your server? Who do you think you are? Last time I checked, this was Jacki's server. And I was like, I'm Jacki, like I was like,
Yeah,
it's
I read
me,
that.
and then he just started, as soon as he felt, I think he knew it was me. I think he like was like, oh, here's my opportunity to like sound off.
Yeah.
So then he literally started like cussing at me about, I said that the animation style reminded me of She-Ra. My personal opinion. And then he was like, no, you confused it. Who are you? You're confusing with Korra because they're two female characters. I was like, what are you talking? Like, he just like started going off and he was cussing at me. So I was like, listen, we're going to remove you. Like, I was just like, you came in hot on a Tuesday morning and, like, you just need to chill out, man, And I said it much nicer than that. I didn't even say, like, you need to chill out, man. I was just like, please, I'm really sorry that you feel this way, but, like, we're going to have to remove you because, like, there's no room to be speaking to people like this, because he was just cursing and being really combative. And then he just went off and called me a dumb B word. I don't want to get YouTube mad at me, so I'm not going to cuss too much. He dropped F-bombs. Then he said a racial slur, which I will not repeat, but literally I saw that and it like gutted me. Like it like hit me to my core. I was like, what? And then he went on to like ridicule my tragedy, my brother dying, and was like, nobody gives up about your sob story and all this stuff. And I was just like, I think I messaged him and I was like, what happened to you? And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I literally think I said that, like, I was like, what happened to you? I'm so sorry. And not trying to be mean. Like, I was just like, where is this coming from? You know what I mean? And he just kept on going. And honestly, I didn't know how to kick or ban him via my PC. Cece later showed me on my phone, which I wish I knew. But so like he was just like continuing to go off, and then finally I had to call Cece. She was like at work, and I was like, I need your help, because he just like wouldn't stop.
Yeah, my paraprofessional was like, is everything okay? I'm like, and then I explained it to her because she was concerned because, I had received 2 calls, so.
Honestly, it just shook me that he called me a racial slur. Like, I'm just like, it's 2021. And I don't understand how someone behaves like that. I just don't understand how someone can be so cruel and hateful. And I get it. He definitely, without question, has something going on in his life, but it's like, you need to have self-control. That ruined my day. Like, I don't even want to admit that because I know that's what he wanted, but like, it really messed me up, because then I just was thinking about so many other things, like related to this whole, Stop Asian Hate movement, like I thought about how, my whole life I have felt unworthy. Like we talked about self-hatred on the last episode. Like, I have looked down on myself because I've been like, oh, I'm not the what you think of when you think of the I don't know how to say this. it's just hard. It's just hard when someone says something like that to you. Like, you just get in your own head and you just think, why does someone like feel feel that way, you know? And maybe they just said it because they were like heated up in the moment, but that word, just what they said, like that really like shook me.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a part of me feels like silly, like, you know, like it's just words, right? But
Well, words have power. And for the longest,
yeah.
I've told you, for the longest time, I didn't want to be Chinese. I grew up hating Chinese people. Like, but hated myself. Like, I didn't want to be Chinese. And then I met you, and then I really started embracing being Chinese. So, like, I've told you that as, that story. And that's, something that's a long story. Um,
Cece, I know, like, you don't want to say that out loud. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say out loud that, like, you hate yourself because society makes you feel like you are not what they want. You know? And, man, like, this got a lot heavier than I intended, per usual on these podcasts. But, like, the fetishization of Asian women is something that I think I have had to deal with my whole life. I have dated so many guys who I think just wanted to like check off their box, like dating an Asian girl or talking to an Asian girl or something weird. And I think that I straight up have had guys date me, and then later on they go and date what seems like what society wants them to date after me. And then I'm just like, is there something wrong with me? Like, why? What? Like, what? You know what I mean? And it's just hard, you know. It's like, Cece, deep down we know that these are societal constructs, you know, and that there's no truth to them, and that there is you know, we're all equal. We're all human. Like, we know that, you know, but it's like you said, words still hurt.
Yeah.
And actions still hurt. And like, when you see people subconsciously doing things, or, you know, like, I've been the butt of so many Asian jokes. Oh, man. And, you know, I just think that we've reached a point where you can't just let it go anymore. Like, at one point I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything about what this guy said. Like, I'm not going to do anything, you know? And then I was like, I called Cece and I was like, I want to put this on social media. You know, I was like, I think this is ridiculous, you know, that someone acts like this and behaves like this. And I called my dad, and he was like, you should report it as a hate crime. Like, I mean, like, that comment was just so full of hate. Like, the whole conversation was so full of hate. Honestly, like, I only got a snap of the convo because Cece, I'm not like upset about this, but she deleted the convo and kicked him out right away, you know? Like, I think there's just like options. Like, so it was just like, kick him out, delete all the messages, done, you know? But it was just insane. I think like the big thing I learned from that interaction is that you need to talk about this stuff. Like, you can't just brush this stuff under the rug. Like, I have brushed, you know, guys' fetishization comments about me. I have brushed jokes friends have made about me. I've brushed off actual verbal attacks from people, just brushed it under the rug. And I was like, no, like, we can call this stuff out, and we can do it not, you know, in a, like, I didn't fire back at that guy. I didn't start insulting him. I was just like, this is inappropriate, you know? Yeah. And so, but it needs to be called out for sure. And we need to stop like pretending this isn't happening.
Yeah, like even a small joke, like when you were growing up, I don't know if this happened in school, but like other people making fun of our eyes. And there was that saying, I really forgot, like Japanese people look like this, Chinese people, like even something little like, and I remember laughing about it because, it's just a joke. But even that, thinking back, that was rude,
So
it made
rude,
us
yeah.
self-conscious, about how we looked, and
100%,
right.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I just think that we can't like allow this anymore, And there was people, you stood up for me, some other people in our Discord stood up for me, and I was like, thank goodness. Like, I honestly was shocked more people didn't say something and were like, oh my god, dude, chill out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And mind you, like, there's not everyone's paying attention to the server. It's not like their lives revolve around the server or anything. But I guess I was just kind of like, shocked that it was like only CC and one other person who kind of piped in. I think that if we see something like that, we need to stand up and just be like, hey, that's not okay. Like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my big takeaway from today, was like, okay, like, don't just brush this under the rug and be like, whatever, like, actually, like, stand up. And the one thing too is that these people are saying things like this because I think this person in particular must have been, really, really angry, just filled with anger. And so I just tried to approach him with, kindness, and was trying to be not poke the bear, for lack of a better word. Because I was just like, this is,
She's already
I
upset.
was just trying to call him out and not, I hate to say, like, I didn't want to sink to his level, Like, I was like, don't sing to that level. Because being hateful towards a hateful person, like, that's a vicious cycle. Like, I was like, I just need to cut this off, you know? And I think I was, in the moment, pretty pretty loving. Like, the conversation got deleted, but I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, what happened to you? You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Because for someone to be lashing out like that, like something, like, what's going on, man? What's happening,
Yeah. And you want to help
Ay.
them.
I mean, we can do better. We can do better. I don't know anything about that person really, except for their screen name, but I know that they can do better. And I just hope that that person is able to reflect on what they said. Like, they were probably pretty heated in the moment, again, over a YouTube video animation style. I don't know. But yeah, it's just like, I hope that they can look back and just be like, wow. I hope that because I called them out and I said that it was inappropriate and I didn't just let them get away with it, that next time they'll think twice before saying things like that or acting like that. That's all I can hope.
We'll see. I
Cece.
mean, I know. I just, at the same time, I feel like because people are behind a computer screen, they feel like they can say whatever they want,
Yeah.
and because it's easy. No one sees them, no one knows them. Like you said, you don't know that person. We can't see them. We
No.
probably won't ever meet them. So they feel like they have the power to say whatever they want. I mean, all all you said is true about that person. I mean, I think that person is just angry, and I mean, I don't know.
We
It's
don't
sad.
know. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't know. But I think that at least in that situation, Cece, we didn't just shut up and put up. Like,
Yeah.
we actually took action, and like, we can be proud of ourselves for that.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I don't usually do stuff like that. So I was like,
honestly, Cece, that's what caught my attention
uh-huh.
was because Cece is incredibly non-confrontational.
Yeah.
Like, she does not like confrontation at all.
Not even with you.
No. And I have to be like, hey, tell me what's going on. What's wrong? Blah, blah, whatever. She really doesn't like confrontation. But what drew my attention to the conversation, and there are so many conversations in my Discord server, and like I don't get to pay attention to all of them, you know? And I have work, you know? So I was like working on stuff, but I saw her message come up and I could sense that she was like defending something, you know? So then I was like, Cece is confronting someone about something, like that's very uncommon. So yeah. I mean, but like, you know, we took the right steps. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, if this was on Twitch and he started saying something, what I would have just banned right away. But I was like, okay, it wasn't. He started being really civil in the beginning, and I was like, okay, let's kind of just talk it out, you know. And another thing I don't do well is communicate, you know, like talk things out. So I'm like, okay, let's talk it out, you know. And he decided to go, which I stopped paying attention because then I sent that message because he wasn't responding. So I was like, back to work, you know, doing what I was doing, teaching my kids, you know. And then so I didn't see how that other conversation began or ended. You just called me and I was like, okay, he's out. So
yeah. I mean, basically, I just think we did the right thing today. And I'm glad that we called attention to it. And I wasn't like, oh, we'll just let it go. Because I called Cece and I was like, I want to put this on social media. And she was like, go for it. Yeah. So, anyway, we're past 20 minutes now. But that was supposed to be a discussion on trauma. And it's pivoted into a hashtag stop Asian hate, hashtag like how do we deal with these situations kind of episode, I guess. But I mean, it is a crazy, tumultuous time, and we're all trying to figure out how to deal with, you know, society is evolving. And I think due to COVID, you know, a lot of things evolved very quickly, which about damn time, in my opinion. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned from COVID is like, we need to stand up for what is right, and we need to be loving, and we need to be kind, and that's we can just do better by just doing those things. So
well said.
All right. Well, if you don't already, please follow me on all the different social media platforms. This podcast drops every Wednesday morning on Apple and Spotify, so please check it out. And I stream 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So make sure you come and say hello. Hello. All right, sending you all lots of love. Bye. Bye from the Empress and the